The only way I would say using text would be kind of similar to the way I use voicemails now, where like I'll leave a voicemail, and a lot of times that voicemail is to point you in a different direction, right? It's like, hey, I just sent you this email, I sent you this in-mail, whatever it is, take a look at it, let me know. It's the same thing with text. Whereas if I'm having a hard time getting in touch with somebody, and I do have their cell phone number, I'll maybe send them an email and then right afterwards text them, be like, hey, Colin, sorry to bother you on your cell phone. I've been trying to get in touch with you. Haven't had luck. Not sure if my stuff's getting caught in spam. If you could go just check to see if it's in there and just let me know if you're interested. I'd appreciate it. I won't text you on this line again. Something like that. So it's like, basically, don't even respond to me. I just wanted to see if you could go take a look at it. And that's where I haven't gotten too much like F you, take me off your list type of stuff. But I don't think that we're going to, I don't know if we're going to be in the text world of cold texting for B2B at all. Do you think even with the generations coming up that it might get to a point where that is a preferred form of communication regardless of cold?
I mean, I think it could be, right? Because if email continues to get worse as it is, LinkedIn has been ruined by people, right? Like LinkedIn as a platform to build relationships and getting conversations started in a business context has become more difficult because people expect you to connect and pitch them now. Because that's just what they're used to, right? So much that now LinkedIn has got the ability where they've got the other inbox and marking people as spam in the inbox, and right, so it's gotten out of control. So, and if everybody starts to lean into phone and cold calling, because it's like, man, this is the only channel that, and I have always been a fan of phone over any other channel, to be honest, because, if somebody doesn't reply to your email, they don't reply to your email. It doesn't tell you a lot, but if you at least get in a conversation with somebody, you can get some real-time feedback. But also with, younger generation of folks coming up and being buyers, that's their preferred way to communicate, and I'm a big fan of text, beyond like cold, but once you're in the sales process, text is very effective, right? I've closed many deals like over text and communicating on text, and especially because, emails just tend to get sometimes a little bit lost in the inbox. It can be very effective, but I could see that happening.
So where do you see things? So now we, add into this mess of declining response rates. And also you mentioned, LinkedIn's been ruined. It's getting even worse because, and I don't know if you saw the post, I did it last week, but it's not just in-mails anymore. Like AI is coming over and automating the comments now. And I had posted something on this, it was a LMS, review site or something like that.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. And immediately like 5 or 6 posts came on board of people I had never seen before. And they all kind of follow the exact same format. They didn't say the exact same thing, but they all follow the exact same format. So I was like, son of a bitch. So I then took that, screenshot it, blocked out people's names, and then said, hey, if you're using automated LinkedIn to comment, then you stop it. Like I said, you're a joke. And then I had changed it because I didn't want to offend too many people. But I was like, this is ridiculous, because if the whole point of LinkedIn is to generate relationships, is to make that impression point to show that somebody, and it's not a hard pitch, right? And so cheating the impression, if you will, where if I can tell that that's an AI bot that is making that quote, now Colin, no matter what you do in the future, I don't trust you because I don't even know if it's you or not. I don't know if that email is you. I don't know if that text is you. I don't know if that voicemail is you, quite frankly, because now AI is doing some pretty good stuff when it comes to voice translation and stuff like that. So with the advent of AI coming at us hard, right? And just, I think effectively going to ruin a lot of forms of communication. Where does that leave the sales professional in the future? So let's talk about the transition phase that I think we're in right now, because I do think that the SDR role, the BDR role is in a massive transition phase right now. So how do you see AI impacting the role, and therefore what do reps need to be doing now to be prepared to kind of evolve with this?
Yeah, it's a good point, because people are so used to seeing stuff that looks like it's written by a robot now that something that we do, like just say in our cold emails, is we intentionally do things to stand out, to show that it's written by a human, right? So an example would be, let's say we're reaching out because maybe there's a recent funding round or some
Yep.
sort of trigger-based data point that we have. Most everybody's going to use it and be very specific with the data that they can pull off the Crunchbase API, where
Yep.
we'll write it more casually and more generally rather than more specifically to show
Okay.
that we actually wrote it and it isn't just some merge field data point, right? So that's an example. So you're going to have
Yeah.
to start to do more of those types of things to show out and say, hey, this was actually written by a human and not by AI
Yeah.
to stand out. So that's one thing. But I think that, the thing that AI is not good at is building human experience context, right?
Okay.
It's not good
Right.
enough there, right? So like, let's just say, for example, now it could say, hey, maybe you and I went to the same university, right? That can be built through AI and messaging could be written around that, right? But
Oh.
AI can't talk about the, pizza shop that everybody knows at the corner of the university that everybody went after parties to and has the best
There you go.
slice, right?
Yeah.
Like they can't
Yeah.
do those sort of things, right? So
Right.
you've got to figure out how to build those human connection experiences into your messaging to stand out and show that, hey, this was not just sent to you by a robot.